welcome back here to Marngrook Oval for the round 3 F2 clash between Diamond Creek and Lower Plenty. For those who have only just joined us, Diamond Creek are 2 for 97, 6 runs behind Lower Plenty in their second innings there. The only decision really to come is whether Lower Plenty will continue to fight on to try and get the outright victory, or whether the game will be called off there. For those who don't know, we get hundreds of thousands of emails every week there, so we'll actually be going through a few of those today there. We'll actually give you the email address to send your emails through if you are interested in giving us your questions there. So the first email we've got here is from Lance. Now Lance is a North Eltham Wanderers supporter, and Lance writes to us, "Dear Chukka and Haydos, I love your coverage there, especially when Eugene joined for the coverage. I actually have a question in regards to my leg side shots. I actually too often miss the opportunities down the leg side there and fail to take my scoring opportunities and end up on less runs than what I've liked. Do you have any tips?" Well, for you, Lance, what I recommend is to make sure your footwork's right to come forward of the ball, or make sure that you plant right back on your back foot there, so that you're worrying less about the ball actually being down the leg side and more about actually playing through your shot there. What people try and do is still play down the line towards where the bowler is. Unfortunately, this is the wrong line there to play down the leg side, so always make sure you move your footwork across, not just across the offside, but the leg side as well there. Alright, next email we've got here is Mary. Now Mary is a Riverside supporter there. Mary writes to us, "Dear Chukka and the team, I'm really enjoying your coverage there. Had a ball watching the under 16 match in 2006-07 between Penton Hill and Riverside, and while it didn't go to plan, grr." Good addition of "grr" there, Mary. She actually wants to know when we're actually coming down to Riverside next for some coverage. Well, we'll look into it. It's obviously a hectic schedule here this summer there across all the grades there and all the grounds. We try and get to as many as we can. Can be tricky though, as we do like coming here to Marngrook Oval as well there. So thank you, Mary. We'll hopefully see you down at Watmore Park in the not too distant future. And we've got one more. This one is actually a joke here sent through from John. He's 7 years old and he's a St Francis supporter there. John writes to us and he wants us to actually guess a particular term that is the favourite for a fielding side when they're trying to get a batsman out bowled. I'll give you a moment to think about this one and I'll give you the answer. The answer is, take off his bails, never fails. Oh, I love that one, John. Thank you very much there. So to let you know of the email address, you've actually got 2 email address options. You can either email Chukka or myself. So for myself, it's Haydos _channel 8 sports, that's 8 as the numeric 8, not EIGHT, at hotmail.com. Or for Chukka, it's Chukka, CHUKKA _channel 8 sports at hotmail.com there. So if you want to write us an email, we do get a lot, so we try and get through as many as we can throughout the summer. But of course, we can't necessarily get through them all there, but we still love hearing the jokes and any advice that we can give out there to any of the young cricketers out there. What we're seeing at the moment is Lower Plenty re-entering the park here. As mentioned before, they are just 6 runs in front of Diamond Creek there. Still needing to grab 8 wickets there. We saw the wicket late of Dwyer. He was caught first from O'Connor off the bowling of Chilcott. Certainly trying to change the game there, O'Connor, with the changes of bowling. Trying hard as he can there to make something happen there. With the match situation as in it comes to the batting position, Steve Farrer is not out on 80. It's his highest score at the ground. As we spoke about earlier, his previous high score was 64 against Thomastown, and is within close distance of his 4th score of over 100 runs there. So we'll come back after just a short break there, and we'll resume with ball 1. We do have a change of bowling at the childcare centre in there. First up, we'll be bowling to Farrer. Feels moderately defensive. We've got 3 men across the offside there in the covers, including O'Connor there as it's catching mid-off. Across the leg side, we've got our square leg, as well as mid-wicket. We've got 2 men on the boundary, just down here. Just up to nice and full. Neatly done there at mid-wicket there, and taking out the stumps along the way there, so tidily done. Certainly no chance for a run regardless. Really important to make sure they get it right here to try and take these last 8 wickets. This one comes off the pads. It will trickle down to fine leg. There will just be the one leg by. Score moves on to 98. So for the state of play of how the ladder will look after today's game, Lord Plenty will remain unbeaten after 3 games. Are likely to sit on 18 points, barring the unlikely result of an outright victory. Diamond Creek will actually remain on 0. Full outside off, and driven, just to mid-off, no run. Pitching it nice and full here. The opportunity will be for wickets will be with a full delivery. I think dropping in short to either Mackenzie or Farrell will be recipe for disaster. This one's whipped by Mackenzie. And it's no run. And Mackenzie still banging at number 4 there. Haven't demoted him, similar to Dwyer logic when he was banging at number 3. Sticking with him, and he's a promising talent. This one's full. And neatly done. They'll still pick up the single. Score moves on to 99. As we discussed throughout the telecast, has posted his high score at the ground. Looking for a 4th century here. Certainly he's come a long way from the form he was in earlier in the summer there. Both mid-on and mid-off are going back onto the boundary. This one's full. No run to the call. So that's the end of the 30th over of the innings. Score is 2 for 99.
Okay, so the 31st over for Diamond Creek. How many overs have we had of this session?
We've only had just the 1 over off the session there.
Okay. So let's see who's bowling. It's to me continuing with Chilcott. This time with a slip and a gully. Chilcott into bowl. I'm not sure what they're doing here because they don't seem to be like going for the wickets. Because
trying to defence field, even to Mackenzie, the new batsman, who's only just got the 1 run so far.
Chilcott, and it's a foolish ball near a Yorker, and he chopped it out. Did Mackenzie. So Chilcott into bowl, and well driven, but straight to mid-off, and this time the fielder does collect it nicely. So it's 99, so just 4 runs behind, and they'll have got into the black. And ooh, hits the pad going down the leg side, and slip kind of bumbles it. Well done there by O'Connor.
It's only a tricky period here for O'Connor. He's got to find a way to get some wickets there, even if they're a little bit cheap. Whoever gets the wickets done.
Chilcott into bowl, and cut, but straight to cover for a dot ball. Yeah. So this half an hour is really going to be deciding what happens, because if Diamond Creek stay 2 wickets down, then there's enough time and enough runs have been scored that you can't win. So you have to. This has to be the moving half an hour. Chilcott into bowl, and well driven. And that is the end of the over. A maiden. It is still 99 for 2. Okay, so bowler at the childcare centre end. Hooper comes into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and it's pulled over the head of the square leg fielder, and there you hit a clang of the bat hitting the fence. 4 runs there.
As the old saying goes, the deficit has now been wiped out.
Yes, good work there, Jonathan Agnew. Now that is a reference that only 90s kids will know. Comes into bowl, And it's down the leg side. Just a wild swing by Farah.
Getting closer to a century here. He's certainly been the boss of this innings there, and probably the difference, similar to how Russell saw the difference in the first innings, trying to hold him off. Personally, been a difference, but with a much more aggressive approach.
Comes into bowl, and it's edged, and caught at the gully, or the backward point region. So Farah is gone, and I think that was a very smart play there by O'Connor and Lower Plenty. So on the offside, it was a short or a silly mid-off, and then on the leg side there was a long on, which meant that if Farah wanted to score a boundary off this guy, he would have had to scoop it onto the offside. He couldn't allow it to be dragged, and that sort of mind game that was got into his head meant that he had to overemphasize his play onto the offside, and that meant that the outside edge, or the skewing of the ball, was what ensued, and in the end a catch in the covers. So very, very smart play by O'Connor.
Yeah, exactly right there. It's been a lot better for them for the last, say, few overs there, remembering back to Chilcott starting to get it right there with his areas, and much the same that time with...
and Farah is walking off the ground.
So new man to the wicket is Petrosino. Again, batted a 5 in the first innings and same in the second. He was one of the many victims for low scores. He only made 1 in the first inning.
So here we go, the Lower Plenty players are resuming. So the score was 1 for 97 with a 30-run partnership between Dwyer and Farah. Then the second wicket fell at 2 for 97, and now the third wicket has fallen at 103. So 2 wickets for about 6 runs.
Still a job here to do for Petrosino. Did bowl quite well, could feature in the Chandler Player of the Year votes, but hasn't done that much with the bats so far.
Into bowl, and ooh, defended there. It seemed to, I'm not sure if it moved in or it was just the angle of the ball, but the batsman did not feel comfortable with it. He had to step outside of it in order to not get hit on the pads in front of leg stump.
Pretty tidy bowling there, so credit to the bowler.
Into bowl. It's a full toss and it's driven and it beats the gap in the 2 fielders, but no, a diving mid-off is able to save it. That would have gone for 2 or 3 if he hadn't have saved it. It was a very good diving catch there by mid-off.
Exactly right there, and to add insult to injury, decided to throw it at the umpire.
Okay.
So we've got Mackenzie back onto strike there. Seems comfortable enough so far, considering the demolition of the first innings. Hasn't had too many worries.
Into bowl, and comfortably driven, fielded by the short cover for a dot ball, and that's the end of the over. So it's a 104 for 3. Okay, so Chilcott is to continue to bowl from the river end. 1 slip, 1 gully, 3 fielders in the covers, 2 fielders on the leg side in front of square, and then a short fine leg.
Petrosino's first look at Chilcott in this match.
Wait, is there only 8?
First ball comes down and left alone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the other fielder?
I don't know.
Like, it's a 5-3 field. And play. It was a bit of a short of a length, but I played off the back foot to defend it.
Well, I'm sure you'll do, Chukka. I'm sure you'll work out where the other fielder is. Perhaps he's maybe even left for the day.
Maybe. He's not on the fence, I can't see.
And notice how Damien Creek have not volunteered a player to field for me. It's
Yes.
very sensible.
Chilcott comes into bowl, and it is a shortish of a length, but not as much. He continues to block it off the back foot comfortably enough. He got into position very quickly, so he was able to play it without any fuss. So this new batter is definitely moving his feet and his body much faster than Dwyer was.
The Chilcott in. Petrosino drives hard. Comfortably covered from Caldera, sorry. They're shortish mid-off. So again, a dot ball.
So
Cross of come on lads, shriek over Mum Cook Oval. They know it's an important time.
Chukka into bowl, and it's full, and that was a very tight lead because the ball moved a little bit in, but he left it away and it didn't hit the off stump. So let's see, there's been 30, this is the 33rd over, plus how many overs did we see from
We got into the 10th over, so 43 for the match. Okay.
Oh, another one, it was short of a length, played it off the back foot, defended. Okay, so about 25 over left in the day's play. It's a maiden, so it's still 3 for 104. Okay, so Diamond Creek have 7 wickets in hand, have a 1-run lead, and there are 25 overs left in the play.
I hope there's still 25 games left this season, otherwise it's a long season.
Alright, McKinnon. Childcare centre end, it's a full ball and it's played through the leg side, but it's straight to the square-ish mid-wicket for a dot ball.
Looks very relaxed at the crease there, Mackenzie. A bit of a contrast to the first innings where I thought there's a few nerves there. With the situation and the game on the line, it's not surprising it's a little bit more relaxed.
McKinnon into bowl. Oh, inside edge onto the pads. Would have gone way down the leg side if he hadn't have hit it. But so there's a big gap at point because there's a gully and a short cover. McKinnon into bowl and driven, and mid-off collects it nicely. So McKinnon seems to be bowling much slower, much more accurately, and he's trying to go stump to stump, preventing any room for Mackenzie to cover drive into that gap square of the wicket.
Or what the situation calls for is this one's down the leg side and neatly enough stopped by the keeper, so no bias. You would think that you're going to make the batsman play at the most deliveries possible there, so if you are trying to bowl quick, what you do is you leave yourself over in the course to concede boundaries, but you also do is give more leavable deliveries there.
McKinnon into bowl. And it's driven, but straight to the short cover. So yes, we saw a boundary a couple of overs ago, but other than that, it's been about 3 or 4 runs of singles and extras. McKinnon into bowl. It's an ugly full toss. And the fielder at cover has to run around, and he's still running, and it's down to the boundary of the cover region, and he picks it up and he throws it in.
So just the 2 there, 2 Mackenzie. So that's the end of the 34th over of the innings. It's 3 for 106.
Well, maybe the Lower Plenty captain thought that the third lot of seamers and the second lot of seamers were just there to give his bowlers some rest, and now that that has happened, now that their bowlers have had the rest and they haven't bowled for a while and they've had the lunch break, now it is time for a big long second spell which will really give them a shot at this game. So we've got McKinnon at the childcare centre end, and now we have Lacey at the river end, the 2 opening bowlers from the first innings. This is probably the biggest play from Lower Plenty, just when they need the wickets.
You're exactly right there. They're having one last crack at this outright victory there. O'Connor certainly had a look at his other bowlers there, which he hasn't really done for the rest of the summer. Now it's time for the main man.
Lacey into bowl and left alone by Petrosini.
It's an opportunity there for both Petrosino and Mackenzie to get some time in middle. Neither have really set the world on fire this summer. Mackenzie did have, I believe, 1 score early in the summer, which was noteworthy, but both could use the time in the middle.
Nothing remarkable at the field.
Apart from one less person.
Yes. Lacey into bowl and well blocked there by Petrosino.
We're missing your man, your gully fieldsman has on the field.
Oh yes, that guy. What was his name? Tal.
Fantastic commentary.
Talek. I know. Anyway.
We'll ignore that moment. We can instead watch Lacey come in. This one's going to be defended. No run.
So, now that there's a short cover in place, it means that there is a gap both at backward point and extra cover, and the sort of cow's cornery extra mid-wicket region. Lacey into bowl, and it's left alone outside the off stump, full, That would have probably been the cover drive ball, but he was not tempted into it.
Smart enough batting there from Petrosino. Doesn't have to rush anything at the moment, can certainly take his time. Well, playing will have to go into their bag of tricks, and there will be balls to score off as the afternoon progresses.
And, ooh, that ball got a bit more bounce. And the keeper had to take it rather than near his knee, that had to be taken near his waist.
Yeah. Ball from Lacey, and his effort balls in the first innings were peppering the stumps, but that time it was just his normal line and length, and that's why he could leave it alone.
The math still says that Lower Plenty need a wicket every 2 overs in order to have enough time in play to chase down a target. So Lacey into bowl, and it's left alone. And a maiden by Lacey, so it's still 106, and it's still 3 wickets down. Okay, so McKinnon is to continue to bowl.
Similar feel to Lacey. Comes in, Mackenzie will miss the short delivery.
that was awful. Mackenzie did not even really try. He was way late to it, and he didn't really look at the ball when he was hitting it. Sort of like turned his back away and sort of swung.
What we can say though is that it was well kept and well umpired. We'll give those two the thumbs up there a little bit.
Yes. Mackenzie glances it off the toes. Fielded there by mid-wicket. So McKinnon into bowl, and again down the leg side, Mackenzie tries to play some sort of leg lance, not very well played, and goes down to the keeper again. Short cover is in, gully is in, so there are 3 attacking fielders all on the offside. As McKinnon comes into bowl, and it's a full toss and it's driven, but McKinnon is able to get a hand to it, and it just dribbles to the mid-on and mid-off for a dot ball. McKinnon does not look nearly as terrifying as he did in the first innings when he had that new ball, when he was full pace. It seems much more of a medium-fast, gentle-ish bowler.
Exactly right there. As we see him come in, and Mackenzie will drive this one straight to short cover. Maybe a little bit lacking on energy. It is warmer conditions today than what we had last Saturday. There's that to factor in. There's motivation as well. The fact that 6 points have already been won from lower, and it's just a matter of whether they go for 10 or keep it at 6. So motivation as well.
I hope it's not about health and fitness.
This one's driven straight to mid-off. No chance of a single, and not even tempted. So that's another main Nova for 506.
Alright, so Lacey to continue to bowl, and left alone by Petrosino. So they're giving it a red hot go, Lower Plenty, but so far the Diamond Creek batters are definitely up to the challenge, leaving alone the balls that need to be left alone and blocking the balls that need to be blocked. The clock is ticking. Lacey into bowl, and left alone again.
Needs to be peppering the stumps more there. It was not only the thing that they did in the first innings there, but it's also just about making sure the batsman plays as many deliveries as possible there. The more they play it, the more they can either miss and get bowled, or snick and get caught, or hit the pads LBW. It sort of brings more dismissals into the game. Bowling outside off, there's only really one, and that's the catch.
Lacey into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and the keeper collects it.
You probably want that one as your loose one, as opposed to the one way outside off there. Just because of the fact that the batsmen are more likely to have a go of it down the leg side as opposed to way outside off there.
Yeah.
We are seeing Caldera warm up there at short cover, so perhaps he will also have one last spell for the match.
Yes, considering what his first spell was like, I'm not optimistic about what he'll result with. As, whoa! Oh, that was the ball. The effort ball, which is slammed into the pitch really hard, it gets that extra bounce where the pitch doesn't absorb it, rather reflects the force of the ball, and it caught the shoulder, and cover was too deep. That was the ball.
It's a missed opportunity there for lower. Lacey in again. This one's going to be left alone. Petrosino.
You have to, like, that is the situation where you set up a batsman for your effort ball. You delivery, where something happens, and then the effort ball is the one which surprises them. And if you're not ready to take advantage of that accident, then the wicket will go amiss. Lacey into bowl, and well defended there by Petrosino, deciding to play it mostly on the back foot, even though it was a very full ball. It's 3 maidens in a row. It's still only 106, and it's still only 3 wickets down. Okay, so McKinnon is to continue to bowl. I think this is his 4th or 5th over from the childcare centre end in this spell.
Is in fact his 5th. Comes in. Mackenzie will pull this one, and that will be a boundary. With the one less man, there's always going to be a gap there at fly leg.
And it slams into the footy shed there.
So that was much better from Mackenzie there. Actually, looked like he was hitting with more intent there. He missed a couple of pull shots there off the last couple of overs. That one was a lot better.
So McKinnon into bowl. And whoa! And it's out! Well, that's a surprise wicket for Lower Plenty. It was down the leg side. Mackenzie decided to step outside of it in order to try to play it as a leg glance. Inside edge, and the keeper did a wonderful dive to his left low, was able to scoop it in, and Mackenzie is out. So a bonus wicket there for Lower Plenty.
Exactly right there. He looked really comfortable at the wicket there. Even if he was missing the ball, nothing really seemed to phase him there. But unfortunately, inside edge into the pad and comfortably held behind the stump. So keeping the door just slightly ajar there, as they say.
The lead is so small that Lower Plenty should know that it's not going to be a question of the required run rate. Anything that Diamond Creek get bowled out for, they will be able to score fast enough, simply because the required run rate will never reach too much. It's always going to be the wickets, and in terms of wickets per over, getting through the Diamond Creek team fast enough with the overs left in the day.
Adam Pollock's the wicket here, staying at number 6 there. Another one of those players needing to rectify his efforts in the first innings.
So, wicket for Mackenzie comes into bowl. And whoa! Bounced a bit more. That did not look like the effort ball, but it definitely bounced like it was one. And it got it near the top of the bat, and he was able to flinch in order to prevent it from getting the glove and being skied.
Certainly wants to avoid playing the fend to those sort of ones.
Yes.
As McKinnon in fact comes in. Pollock playing it safely to the leg side. Unless of course there was a really seedy mid-wicket, and then it would be a catching chance.
Yep. Short mid-off has moved a metre in, so now he is a silly mid-off, and he's warning the non-striker about getting in his way. McKinnon into bowl. Ooh, that was the slower ball, and the batsman was up for it. So, Lower Plenty, their hopes are still in this. 6 wickets to go. They've taken 3 wickets in the space of 10 overs.
Only conceding the 13 runs in that time as well, as McKinnon comes in. This is going to be played away safely from Pollock, just for no run. And that's the end of the 38th over. It's 4 for 110.
So, it's a couple of minutes short of 4 o'clock now. Lacey into bowl. And it's a wild hit. And it's through the gap over the head of the cover fielder. The cover fielder runs back and chases it down, and they get 2 there. Very aggressive shot there.
Exactly right. That's sort of the way you can counteract in close fielders, by finding your gaps outside. Gives the captain a couple of things to think about. I think O'Connell will stick with the attacking field, just basically because he has no choice. But he gives a chance for a couple of runs there.
Lacey into bowl. Left alone.
This has probably been the first patch since the first big partnership of Lower Plains innings that Lower Plains have actually been on top of the match. For the last 10 overs it's been 3 for 15. Probably the first time since that opening partnership.
Yep, and it's not through blasting out with great fast bowling and great swing bowling like they did when they bowled at Diamond Creek. This is more attrition, old style cricket.
Lacey in. This one's going to be defended by Petrosino. No run. Caldera eccentrically saving that, even if he had left it, sort of been top ball.
Lacey in the ball. Oh, well defended there. So that missing night fielder is nowhere to be seen.
So we can't grab him for an interview after the, the telecast, unfortunately. I know.
Well, it must be a serious injury or something like that.
Lacey in, and this is defended right back to the bowler there.
It's not like where you misplaced one of your shoes and you're just running around and you missed the first couple of overs because you're finding it. This must be something serious. So just hope that.
Will you keep us posted?
I don't have access to the lower plenty dressing room, so I can't. Sorry.
Fantastic.
Lacey into ball and left alone. Okay, so 112 now is the score. 112 for 4.